Now let's discuss the problems with traditional education. Traditional schools have good points, but they also face big challenges in the keeping up with the changes in education. So what are these problems? We've talked about some of them before, but it's really important to remember them. So let's go through a couple of them again. So first is rigidity. You see, we already discussed this issue, and I know that many of you have probably thought of a million reasons not to teach because of it. So the traditional educational system often operates on a fixed, inflexible curricula. With work changing so fast, these curricula might not develop as quickly as our students' needs, making it challenging to keep up with the rapidly changing demands of the job market, technological advancement, and societal shifts. But don't worry, we are not here to dwell on the problems. We are here to explore solutions, and there are plenty. So let's keep moving forward, and let me show you how Agile and Scrum can help us overcome these challenges and make educational not just better, but super exciting. Okay? The next challenge is lack of real-world skills. So many traditional teaching methods prioritize theoretical knowledge over practical real-world skills. This misalignment can leave students unprepared for the real challenges they will face in their careers. So let me illustrate this challenge with a simple example from my own experience. Back when I was a student, I was often overwhelmed with the theoretical content and exams. While the knowledge was important, I couldn't help by wondering how it would how will I apply this to a real world. When I started working, I quickly realized that there was a gap between what I learned in the classroom and what I needed to succeed in my career. For instance, I knew the theory behind the project management, but I struggled to apply those principles in the real-world environment. If I had the puzzle pieces, but I didn't know how to put them together. And this disconnect between theory and practical skills can hinder a student's transition from the classroom to the workplace. Let me tell you about something I learned from the Chinese educational system. A few years ago, I attended a seminar on education management in Beijing. One interesting thing they do is this. So after spending 2 to 3 years in university, educators work in a real company for approximately the same amount of time, and this helps them bring the best practices from the university to the real sector. And then they return to the university to share what they learned from their real-world experience, so the university can update their practices based on the real-world insights. It was a really cool experience that I want to share with you. And this is where Agile and Scrum comes in. They can bridge the gap by promoting practical, hands-on learning and emphasizing the real-world application. Okay, the next thing is limited adaptability. Traditional educational institutions can sometimes be slow to adjust to new teaching methods, emerging technologies, and interdisciplinary approaches, which are essential for addressing evolving needs. So during my time as a student, I often found myself excited about emerging technologies and new teaching methods. However, my educational institutions struggled to keep up with these innovations. The curriculum seemed fixed and resistant to change. I felt like trying to navigate with an outdated map in a rapidly changing landscape. In one instance, I was passionate about exploring the intersections of a different subject, which is often a vital aspect of today's job market. However, the rigid curriculum made it challenging to dive into interdisciplinary studies. The limitation in adaptability can hinder students' opportunities to explore the latest trends, technologies, and interdisciplinary approaches that are crucial for addressing the evolving needs of our dynamic world. Agile and Scrum provide a remedy by offering a framework that promotes adaptability and embrace change, ensuring students are better equipped to thrive in a new environment. Number 4 is standardization. Standardization is another common issue. The traditional system tends to standardize teaching methods, leaving little room for customization and catering to specific learning needs and interests. I remember when I was a student, I firsthand experienced this issue because educators at that time knew only one way to transfer knowledge, and in many cases, it made be difficult for me to catch up. I wasn't alone. There were many students with unique learning needs. The one-size-fits-all model couldn't address my specific learning preferences or adapt to my pace. This rigid standardization can leave many students feeling left behind or disengaged. However, Agile and Scrum principles can play a significant role in breaking away from standardization. So by embracing adaptability, self-organization, and personalized learning, you can better meet students' diverse needs and foster a more engaging and effective learning environment. Lack of feedback loop. So many traditional educational systems lack of a robust feedback loop where students can actively provide input on their learning experience and needs. However, I'm not suggesting that we should implement too much democracy into our teaching methods. What I'm saying is that this lack of dialogue can hinder quick adaptation to changing requirements, so we need to pay attention to that. As a student, I often found myself in a situation where I wished I had provided feedback on my learning experience. I wanted to share difficulties in acquiring knowledge in areas where the teaching methods weren't effective, at least for me, or topics I wanted to explore further. However, the traditional system had limited channels for students to express their needs and concerns. The absence of a robust feedback loop meant that many students, like me, couldn't actively contribute to shaping our skills. Our voices weren't heard, and the educational system struggled to adapt to our changing requirements. Now, as an educator, I've come to recognize the importance of fostering open dialogue with students. Agile and Scrum practices emphasize the value of regular feedback, and I've integrated these principles into my teaching approach. Okay? So by actively seeking and listening to students' feedback, I've created a more adaptive and engaging learning environment where students have a say in their education. This approach empowers them to shape their learning experiences and ensures that their evolving needs are met. So once more, I would deeply appreciate it if you could share your thoughts on this topic in the comment section. I'm eager to hear whether you have encountered similar challenges or if you have already found solution. If you have, please share how you did it, so we can collectively contribute to creating a better educational environment and fostering the success and appreciation of our students.